welcome everybody again to unlock significant cost saving by hiring virtual assistants from LATAM. Again, we're very thrilled to share you all this valuable information, and I'm going to present you our host. So we have here Janet Benaroya, he's Chief Business Development Officer, and also Roberta Barahona, she's Recruitment Associate Director. Guys, you're excellent, you're full of knowledge, and I will leave you the stage so you can go dive in this webinar. I'm sure everybody will like it.
Awesome. Thank you for that intro.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. I just want to say before I get started that I've seen some additional questions at the end of the webinar. We're going to circle back to those questions and make sure that we answer any questions that you have in mind. That's what we're here for. But yeah, to begin our presentation, in today's digital age, companies are realizing the immense potential of tapping into the talent pool in Latin America. The region honestly hasn't been unlocked very recently. It's the last 2-3 years, I think it developed highly. Before that, remote talent was mainly known in Philippines and in India, but the Latin America, I think more and more companies are facing towards Latin America and understanding that this region also offers not only skilled professionals, but also a cost-effective solution to boost any company's efficiency and productivity within a similar time zone to US and Canada. So which is a great advantage to it. And yeah, US-based businesses are increasingly turning to Latin America, and Latin America is becoming a top choice more and more as the time goes by because of, as I mentioned, the time difference, the cost effectiveness, and many different skilled, talented professionals that are in place in Latin America.
And may I also add, because I'm also from Latin America, very hardworking people, which usually it's very appreciated because we put all of our love and work to our job.
Yeah, and soul. I feel like they're very passionate culture,
True.
And they put everything into it, and that's something that's to be appreciated for. So the agenda for today's webinar, we got 5 important topics that we're going to go over. And number 1 is understanding the Latin American talent pool. The second one, the cost savings advantage. The third one is hiring best candidates from Latin America. The fourth one is the ethical considerations and fair compensation. And the last one is unlocking the significant cost savings and finding the quality virtual assistants from Latin America.
Yeah. So all the questions that you may have, keep popping them into the chat, and we're going to be able to go through them at the end of our webinar.
Correct. So the first topic is understanding the Latin American talent pool. By hiring in Latin American region, businesses in the United States and Canada can access the top talent pools, find the right candidates for their job openings, and alleviate the struggle to find qualified candidates in the US and Canada. And when we talk about Latin America, we're talking about many different countries, right? For example, Virtual Latinos, we have an internal community of professionals that consists of talent from 19 different countries. So you're talking about a very large talent pool that you're able to unlock and be able to find many different varieties of highly qualified candidates, versus you having to lock down into your only region, your local talent. This way you will be able to have a much competitive edge compared to any other businesses competing your business.
I usually also like to share with clients that because it's 19 countries, obviously we're not going to go over all the 19 countries, but just so you get an idea, it's all the way down from Argentina to all the way to Central America, which is Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, amazing people, and then all the way up to Mexico. And now we have also Brazil. So sometimes we also have clients looking for Portuguese speaking VAs. So yeah, it's a lot of countries in there.
And I can share you with all of you that something that has surprised me a lot. I mean, there is definitely talented professionals from all of these countries, but some of the countries that unexpectedly, that it's been very surprising for me. It's like Honduras, they have amazing English skills. Colombia, they have very high level talented professionals. Then Argentina comes with amazing marketing talent and technical people. I mean, it's just full of amazing people in Latin America, definitely. So the next slide is talking about the skills and proficiency of the virtual assistant in Latin American. Latin America is home to many highly educated professionals. And I feel like throughout the years, this has increased a lot. And some of the things that our team has shared here, that the governments are investing in education, which had led to improvements in educational outcomes and quality of education, which is huge. They have amazing universities in many of these nations. Some of them are very much par with the United States universities. And they do have some programs that actually teaches certain things. For example, there's universities that are specifically for attorneys. They actually teach the US laws and things like that. So they do capture the information and the educational system of the US as well. And they have highly skilled professionals in high demand fields. And one of the things that our team is also, in the next slide, we're going to share, that found out that there is this global talent competitiveness index, which is an annual report that ranks countries based on their ability to compete for talent. And a lot of the Latin American countries are within the top 100 for all of these. So which is great, which means that all these countries that are listed here are full of amazing talent.
Yeah. So just so you get an idea, on the left side where it says GTCI, we're considering 133 countries. So for example, Chile, it's number 34, but this is showcasing Latin American countries. So that's why you're not seeing like Europe, like other countries added here. This is just Latin America. So that's why you see Chile being like 34, Costa Rica, then Uruguay, and so forth. So this is like the GTCI report ranking for
Which
Latin
is still
America.
really good, because a lot of them are within the top 25% in the nations. So, which is a very big deal.
Yeah.
Amazing. And the next one is talking about the skills and proficiency of the virtual assistants in Latin America. This is also another study that they did about the level of bilingual talent in different nations in Latin America. I mean, all of our talent are bilingual in our community. They can all speak English and Spanish, and we have some talent that are Portuguese speakers as well. As you guys can see, Argentina is ranked at the top when it comes to the bilingual talent in Latin America. But yeah, all these nations have great, amazing talent that are capable of speaking both languages.
Yeah. And this is a score from 1 to 800. So yeah, but obviously these are like very general rankings, but of course we have amazing people in all of these countries. Like Jenner said, we have amazing people with like very high English proficiency in Honduras and also Guatemala. So yeah, this is just like a very general chart that we like to share with our clients as well, but obviously just to take into consideration that obviously also Mexico has amazing people, even though like it's down the chart. So yeah, wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Ravi. So let's move on to the next one.
Perfect. So taking over, this is something that we wanted to share as well, which is the most common reasons why US-based businesses turn in hiring to Latin America, right? So usually, because this is what the topic of the webinar is cost saving advantage. Your company can save as much as 75%, which is a lot. Increase in diversity and also innovation. So usually right now companies are very into like having diversity, and having people from other countries joining their company with fresh new eyes and also with new like knowledge different from what they have in their own country. So yes, this is like also a big one. Also language proficiency, like we were sharing, access to skilled talent. We have incredible virtual assistants in our community that are very, very talented people, which that's part of what the things that we love, which is connecting those amazing, talented people to our clients. And then synchronizing time zones. Obviously, one of the biggest things that clients get is you're hiring someone who's actually working in your same time zone. Sometimes, usually, like the difference is just 1 or 2 hours happening depending on daylight saving and all those things that are happening. But yeah, it's usually your morning. It's also morning for them. It's your afternoon. It's also afternoon for the VA. So that's why it's like a whole win-win situation for both companies and also for our Latin American VAs.
Yeah, I want to add one thing, Robbie, to there
Yeah.
that I would like everybody here who joined us to understand is that, you know, the other side of the coin also, you know, yes, the companies are able to save up to 75% in employee cost, but also we have to look at the other side where the VAs are getting 3 to 5 times more than what they would make in their own countries. So it's definitely what it said in the end of your last slide is a win-win situation for both parties.
Yeah, I wanted to touch over that specifically because we're one of the companies who have the highest compensation percentage in the market right now. So usually on other companies that are working with virtual assistants, they're usually getting like 72 to 93% of what they're paying. So obviously that leaves the virtual assistant with just like 7% of whatever the client is paying. For Virtual Latinos, we truly believe on compensating the best way possible to also our VAs, and that's the reason why we have a like a high number of retaining rates, which we usually our rate is between 50 to 75%, 70%, sorry. So and also connected to that, we're usually because the payment for VAs is usually like 2 to 3 times more that they could be doing in their own countries. So that's the other side of the coin, why we're also like an amazing option for our virtual assistants and why they also love working with Virtual Latinos as well. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's very important. And then bottom line savings for companies due to lower operating expenses. Obviously, you're not paying like rent and utilities for this VA. Travel and relocation expenses, cleaning and security services, food and beverage. I wanted to share here because I know this is not an operating expense that you're going to be having, but as well, we also sometimes we have clients that they're like, but you know what? I still want to pay things for my VA because I feel like this person is part of my company now. So we also have a perks compensation package that it's free. Like obviously it's free for you to choose if you want to take it and compensate your VA in other ways. We're happy to share that kind of information after a webinar if you want to hear more about that. But as well, it includes bonuses which go 100% to the VA, raises as well, that's also going 100% to the VA. Like if you want to increase the raise, Virtual Latinos doesn't make anything about raises, it goes 100% to your VA. So many things that we have going on. Obviously you get to choose other compensation things that we have in our packages, and then also offer competitive compensation packages, which what I was mentioning just right now. Also seeing more profitability with more remote workers, which is increased productivity, increased employee retention, and less absenteeism, which we all know about, like ghosting. In Virtual Latinos, you actually get a success account manager, which is a SAM. This person is actually the person in charge to speak to the client and also the VA, just to make sure that your whole relationship is going smoothly. In any case that you need help, obviously that's why you get that account manager to assist you like with any issues that you may have, which they're amazing. We love our SAMs.
I want to add a couple things here. I think it's very important for the people who joined us to understand, you know, it's also, you know, from the get-go already, the virtual professionals assistants, they're already really excited to join your company because it's a big opportunity to create a good work-to-life balance. So that automatically you're onboarding someone that is going to have an increased productivity. It's going to really take this opportunity to the heart and seriously, and they're going to try to not be absent on job and random times and really try to take advantage of these type of situations. I see it in our team. I see the level of commitment that my teammates have, and you know, that's, I think, one of the biggest difference between the talent that we have here in the US versus hiring someone who's remote, who's in Latin America, who's really taking this opportunity to the heart and want to really go above and beyond to create this long-term relationship between you and them. So
you know what? Yeah, you know what, partner? And I also would like to say, because we also have an amazing recruitment team that makes sure that we're making those matches and that we're connecting people who are like really interested and really excited and looking to have a better career path. So that's why, yeah, it's a lot of back-end work that Virtual Latinos is doing to make sure that we're doing like the best match with our clients and also with our VAs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Then moving on to hiring the best candidate from Latin America, which is, I think this is one of the things that we're actually the best at because we take that time. Some people may think like it's a little bit long process, but the right people might think, you know what, you're actually taking the time to really go in depth on what I actually need. So considering like all the organizational goals that you may have, and this is part of what we were saying at the beginning of the webinar, which is having that quick call, that discovery call, to making sure like assess what is your current staff, what are you dealing with, are you actually looking to increase sales, or are you actually looking to get someone to help you with your own task, like what is it? Because sometimes you get in the motion of your own company and sometimes you're confused on what actually you're looking help with. And that's exactly what we're here for, to help you assess and analyze what exactly are you needing help with. And then project future staffing needs, for sure. Of course, we have many clients who keep rehiring more VAs. Like obviously sometimes they say like, let me try with one and let me see how that goes. And then the next time it's like, I want to hire 4 more of the same. So it's a lot of project future staffing. And then completing the skill gaps analysis. The virtual assistants allow companies to obviously concentrate on your business. Like I was saying, usually you're on the motion and you're actually working in the business instead of actually like thinking outside and thinking other ways to increase your sales or visibility or projects that you have. So getting someone who can help you and you can delegate those tasks to, who's actually going to be happy to do those things, it's like amazing. And then attracting new customers and engaging with existing ones. Also getting help with various time-consuming tasks, which we know they're sometimes a pain, but they need to get done. And obviously you need the time to do other things. So yeah, this is like a big thing.
One thing that comes to my mind, that's something that our mentor always tells us, you know, you got to delegate to elevate. So that's part of it, right?
Yeah, love that.
For small businesses especially, you come to a point that you're doing everything on your own. You're the salesperson, you're the customer service, you're the marketing person, you're everything, but you're in a position that you cannot grow any longer because you're not delegating. So yeah, one of the biggest advantages of hiring talent remotely is definitely to be able to delegate so you can elevate your business. So keep that in mind.
I love that phrase, partner. We need to tweet that, Instagram that. We need to make that public. I love that. We need to promote it everywhere. It's true. It's true, because that's what we're helping our clients for. All right. Then this is what usually a little bit. We obviously help a lot of kind of industries, and obviously this is like a summary.
Just examples, let's say.
Yeah, very few examples. We have a lot of industries. I mean, that's the beauty of the world. We have people doing lashes, and we have people doing medical medical,
Right.
exactly. We also have legal industries. We have so much stuff going on, and we have VAs helping all this many industries. So we can start with marketing agency. This is usually one of the biggest ones. We marketing agencies, sometimes they're looking to hire a marketing assistant, right? And what is this person usually doing? So that's usually a lot of social media management, either for the same marketing agency or because they have clients that they need someone who can manage their social media, right? Also managing their CRM and doing data entry, content creation and copywriting, and also video editing. It's a big one. We have amazing video editors in our community. And this is usually, all of these things are things that our clients are hiring constantly for. Not only marketing agencies, because we also have life coaches looking to hire for a video editor. We also have another legal company looking to hire for a social media management. So don't take it too hard, like there's a lot of combinations that can happen. But just so you get like an idea of things that marketing agencies line of business can do. We also, one of our biggest, if not one of the biggest clients that we help, is law firm. We have amazing clients from the law firm business line. And usually they're looking for VAs to help them with calendar management and appointment setting. It's one of the biggest ones because they're very busy. They need someone who can tackle their calendar and book in their new clients that they need to attend to, making sure that they're going to be on that call, making sure that they're going to make it to the office. So all that back end work is something that VAs are currently doing. Researching and also contacting government agencies. This is one of the pain points from law firms. Usually they're like, it's such a pain to call like the government or like to get paperwork done. Like you have to call so many times. Obviously they don't have the time to do it. So that's why they're also looking to hire someone who can actually get that work done. Gather customer testimonies and stories and affidavit. This is also very huge, especially because we have so many people now in US who speak Spanish. So if you're a lawyer and you only speak English and you get a client who speaks Spanish and you need that connection, I mean, Virtual Latinos, it's like we're the option. Because they're helping you to gather all these testimonies, translate as well, and preparing case indexes. So that is law firm. Then we also have healthcare. Healthcare, it's also a lot of things happening under healthcare. But biggest things, it's like managing their EMR, calendar management and appointment setting. It's also like one of the biggest things that they need help with. Like if someone is canceling their appointment and they need to reschedule, it's all that admin work that needs to get done, right? To get that patient to come in. And we're speaking about healthcare, it's not longer clients, but patients. So it's different. Like we're always taking those things into consideration because it's like different kind of people that we're talking about. Also gathering their patient, in this case, information and obtaining their documents, live interpretation as well, and translation. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of people who are actually speaking Spanish and they need to speak to their doctor, their nurse, or the person who's in the front desk and explain whatever's happening so they can help like with all this interpretation. And then patient tracking and project management, just making sure that your patient, if they need to get back to the office in 1 month, this person needs to make sure that they're going to be calling that patient and making sure that they're scheduled for the next month, right? So yeah. Real estate, amazing. So real estate is one, it's also another industry that we love working with. There's a lot of customer service here because obviously they get a lot of calls and a lot of inquiries about prices, loans, leads, like, are you looking to sell your house? Are you looking to buy? It's all those questions, right? So it's a lot of sales thing going on. But also admin work, right? Which is like the contract creation and creating and managing the real estate listings, which is the MLS, right? Then we have the line of business, which is admin / whatever your kind of business that you have going on. You can also be like a business owner. You can have another thing going on. Like I said, not everything is just for this one. If you're looking for an executive assistant who can help you manage your emails and your correspondence, like making sure that your inbox is not like in 800, which gives me just anxiety to think about, but it happens. So just having someone who can help you like check in and go over emails, and then just leaving in your inbox the actual things that you actually need to go into, like what Jenner was saying, you need to delegate to elevate. I love this. You were gonna say something?
Yeah, this is one of the most common roles that
Yeah.
any type of industry client needs. Administrative virtual assistant can stretch. These are some of the tasks that we're sharing, but there's so many other administrative tasks that you guys can delegate to an administrative assistant, depending on the type of person you're seeking. But yeah, it's like one size fits all type of thing. It goes for all industries.
Yeah. Also travel arrangements, handling data entry tasks, organizing and maintaining digital files. FYI, I always tell my clients, whenever you're onboarding someone, keep track of everything that you're training this person for, because this is going to help you like for future hirings. Because like we mentioned before, if you're looking to staff more people, because you're looking for more people to be your video editor, or and you like certain things to be done in a very specific way, you keep track of those things and you can have them organized like in digital files and keeping up with if you have SOPs, like standard operating procedures as well. So yeah, we have many tips for our clients. Whenever we get to have a conversation with you, we're happy to share them. We don't gatekeep, we like to share. Then moving on to this slide, which is ethical considerations and fair compensation. This is a little bit of what we were sharing before, and the percentage about the highest compensation percentage that we share. This is the reason why Latin American professionals are seeking better opportunities, right? Rather than sometimes in their own countries. It's the political uncertainty sometimes that it's happening in the countries, or because they're looking for an economic and social stability, which is, I mean, understandable. Also the strong work ethic. Also big one, it's the lack of job opportunities. So much talent is going to waste basically because there's not opportunity sometimes. And it's amazing to hear someone who has like this specific skill, like a marketing VA, and they're looking for a job and looking for a career path related to that. And obviously sometimes they don't have the opportunity, but sometimes our clients are looking for that, which is incredible to match. And then low salaries versus cost of living, like we mentioned before, usually our VAs are making like 2 to 3 times more that they could be doing in their own in their home countries. So yeah, it gets affordable for clients, but also it's like a very win-win situation for our virtual assistants, which we also like to take care of as well.
Exactly. The inflation is not only happening in the US, it's a real thing in Latin America too. The cost of living is going up, but there is not so much consideration about growing the minimum wage in majority of those countries. So that's one of the challenges that all of the talent has, which is resolved thankfully through companies, agencies like ours.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the final part. So unlocking significant cost savings and finding quality virtual assistant from Latin America. Obviously, we would suggest for you to do it through Virtual Latinos, not just because of this presentation, but because we're very confident about our abilities to find you the right talent. Some of the things that we also shared with you, we had mentioned in the beginning that you can save up to 75%. So the range is depending on, where you're located, if it's California or New York, or depending on the role and position. Roughly, the clients can save between 40 to 75% in employee cost versus hiring someone in the US, and 30 to 50% less than in-house employees. So those are some of the important stats. What makes Virtual Latinos different from other VA companies, which is the most important part, is that one, we do a done for you personalized service. What does that mean? I'll go a little bit more in depth to that. Is that for each client and for each role that they're seeking to hire, we do a custom recruitment process. We don't just go and take your job description, throw it into a database and send you random resumes. We actually take our time. And that's why it takes 7 to 10 business days. Beforehand, we meet with each client up to 45 minutes with a recruitment consultant who's an expert in recruiting. They gather and align all the information necessary for that job. And then we start the recruitment process where our recruitment team roughly pre-interviews 10 to 12 talent and then comes back to each client with the top 3 talent based on the information that we have discussed and defined in that meeting. All of our talent are English tested.
May I also add something there, partner? Because part of that personalized service, our clients love the way that they receive the candidates because they're very specific to their needs, right? Like Gina was saying, that we're not throwing like in a database and sending random people. We're actually sending you people who are interested in working with you. So it's part of that connection. And it's part of the recruitment team's work that we're doing in the back end as well, trying to find the perfect match. And lovely to hear. Sometimes you're looking to hire one person and you're like, I cannot decide between these two and I want to hire both. So it happens very constantly, which we love, obviously. But yeah, it's all about that matching process and making sure that we hear what you're looking for and not only hear, but actually understand. Because sometimes clients may think that you need something, but once you have that conversation, you're like, oh, you know what? No, it's true. I'm looking for someone to delegate my task to, or I want to upsell or whatever the case may be. So that conversation is crucial before like moving forward with the process.
And the personalized service doesn't end there. There is beyond the recruitment process. Once you guys hire a VA, we give a very personalized service of almost like an HR. You get connected with a success account manager who's always going to be there to assist you guys and your VA to make sure that we create a long-term relationship. But that's beyond this presentation, right? And another thing is providing the 1% talent from Latin America. I know it's hard to believe, and we trickled it down to a presentation to kind of explain the steps, how we actually match you with the top 1%. Can we move to the next slide?
Yeah.
So this is our process, how our application process works. So we don't accept just anybody who comes up and signs up on our website to become part of the Virtual Latinos community. When I say and use the word community, I truly mean it. We don't go out and publicly look for talent either. We already have an internal community of pre-vetted talent from which we do our recruitment process from. So as you guys can see, from the initial application process to the final profile assessment, which are the people who are accepted, finally, who can actually be hired through our clients, is the top 5%, which is basically the community. And then from there, we only match top 1 to 2% with the clients. So very detailed process. They go through English tests, they go through personality tests, and we have other assessments to kind of test their ability to pay attention to details and cognitive abilities, just to make sure that we are bringing in the best talent possible from Latin America to our community.
Yeah. And if you're a follower or a new person, I mean, these numbers have changed. They have changed throughout the year because our process has become like more detailed. Like we want to make every time we're trying to get better at that matching process, at that profile assessment, at that application process, at the qualification, but like every stage that you see there, we're constantly working on sorting through and making sure like we get to the best talent as much as possible, right? So yeah, that's why we have that 1 to 2%.
So the conclusion is Latin America talent offers a rare combination of affordability and ambition, making the region a smart choice for companies looking to grow. Our community incorporates a wide variety of individuals with different skills and various levels of expertise. They're ready to help you grow your business online and beyond online. So I hope you guys can give us an opportunity to help you.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion, and we can jump into finally.
We can jump into
excited for
Q&A.
the Q&A section. I saw a lot of
Yeah,
really
just so
questions.
you guys know and see like the background here in this Q&A. This is our amazing team. This is actually a picture of our own team. And just so everyone knows, we also work remotely. So we're the proof that it can get done. We actually started with 2 people, and then to 7, and then more and more, and then 70, and then 90, and so forth. And now we cannot even fit on a screen. So we have people in Argentina, Mexico, Honduras, Spain, US, like, yeah, we're the living proof that working virtually works out.
That's
Q&A.
true, Roberta. Well, now we are going to go to the Q&A. We have so many questions, guys. I hope you're ready.
All right. No, we're made for this.
Of course. So we have one question here. Are DVAs available as needed, a part-time contract or full-time contract?
I answered this question at the beginning. I think this was one of the first ones. You can hire for how many hours you actually need work for. So you can start hiring part-time, which is 20 to 30 hours a week, and then full-time, which is considered 31 hours to 40 or plus sometimes hours a week. So it depends on how much time and how much work you actually need to delegate or have someone to help you with.
That's great. Thank you so much. Another one, we talked a little bit about this, the law firm, a line of business. Someone is asking, Sean Jackson, do you have VAs with either paralegal experience or experience as an attorney in your talent pool?
Yes. So we do have talents who are attorneys in their own country, but we do not promise to our law firm clients that they come with a U.S. Law firm experience or knowledge, but they're definitely coachable and trainable people as long as you have good process in place. Majority of our clients do train them to become their paralegal assistants. We do also have, we don't want to call them like certified, because we do have a course. We have an academy where we provide educational courses to our community, and we do have a course created by an attorney client of ours to train the professionals and the basics of the US legal system. But beyond that, you always need to train them in your own case management system and the way that you actually process everything with your clients. So that would be my answer to that. But attorneys from their countries, yes, we do have.
Oh, I just read a comment. I saw you guys in Inc. 5000 ranking. Pretty impressive. We are very proud of actually ranking number 80. So yeah, that was a huge accomplishment for us. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
We skipped one question before Sean's question. I just want to make sure that we don't forget. Randall Martinez also asked, do you have VA specifically for business development, lead generation, appointment setting? Yes, we do have many talented professionals in the sales field as well. So depending on what you're looking for, what kind of tasks you want to delegate, when it comes to sales, we can definitely help you find someone on that.
That's great. And we have another one from Randall Martinez. What is the vetting process for VAs being hired by Virtual Latinos? What industry do you most of your VAs work in?
Our sorry. We've been speaking so much. What Jenner was saying at the last part of our webinar, he was sharing about the vetting process. It's a very long process for our VAs. It's time consuming, but obviously that's why we're working on making sure that we have the right people in our community. That's why we call it community, because once you make it to the community, you're in. And part of that, it's having interviews with our recruitment team. It's part of having an English assessment. It's part of as well filling out like acknowledgement forms, creating profiles. There's a lot of things that are tested and that we're actually looking for details and tests that they actually have to score and get a grade that we actually are looking for. So it's a very lengthy process, but it's just part of us like double, triple making sure that we're getting the best talent in our community. And then what are the industries that we most, the VAs, what industry do you most of your VAs work in? We have a lot of admin work happening, which involves like receptionist, executive coordinator, all those kind of roles that go within that. Also, we have a lot of marketing people, which also involves like video editing, graphic designers, content creators. I mean, we have so many, so I couldn't like pinpoint like which one is like our highest.
I can elaborate a little bit more to Randall's questions. So the first one, just want everybody to understand our process is so tough that actually we get sometimes negative reviews from VAs because people cannot pass through our filter. We make it on purposely very difficult filtering process to make sure that we are only taking great professionals into our community who at the end will be matched with our clients. In the second part, what industries? Randall, I can share with you that our number one industry that we work with is the legal industry. That's our number one line of clients. But then after that, definitely the second one would be the healthcare industry, then real estate, marketing agencies, all sorts of different other businesses. But yeah, the top three would be legal industry, healthcare industry, and real estate.
That's great. Another question about our process from Sean. He's asking, the process is first to review the candidates' resumes and then either a pre-recorded video or a live video call interview with them. Is that true? Or it's also in your company, because he was explaining before that he has used other VA sourcing.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll explain to you a little bit about how we do it on our end. So as I explained in the webinar, we do this recruitment process that takes 7 to 10 business days. At the end of it, we will present you the top 3 candidates with a very unique presentation done for each client separately with the specific information regards to what kind of skills and knowledge that they have on the tasks you need them to do, what kind of background in their experience in their field they have, all the information, English tests, personality tests, everything will be shared with you. Then you will get to select who you would like to interview, and you will get to meet these candidates one-on-one through Zoom. And it won't be just a video, it would be actually a live interview where you will be able to ask any questions you would like to make sure that you are going to onboard the right person that you're looking for.
Yeah, so that video is not pre-recorded. It's actually like a live conversation that you get with the person.
Yeah. Do you have a pre-recorded audio?
Audio.
To understand how well they speak in English, basically.
And a little bit about themselves, but still it's about you and your company. So it's not like a pre-recorded audio that it's used for everybody, but it's a very specific to our client.
Yeah, super personalized, like everything we do.
It's personalized.
We have another question. This one is in English. In Spanish. I will ask it in Spanish and in English so everybody can understand. It says, el asistente virtual podría interpretar en una reunión virtual entre loan officer and buyer. Does the virtual assistant can translate a virtual meeting between the loan officer and buyer?
Yes.
Yes. Sí. Yes, and sí.
Yes, and sí. Yeah, that's something that's very common as well within our real estate clients, the same way that our attorney clients are using them for other interpretations and other uses of translations. Definitely, that's something that a lot of our real estate clients are leveraging from our bilingual talent.
We have, our clients can choose 2 kind of things though. So for example, if our clients are looking, obviously benefit of hiring from Latin America is that the VA speaks Spanish, right? So it's very easy for this person to interpret whatever it's being said in English to Spanish or vice versa. But as well, if a client's looking for an actual interpreter, that's also like a role that you can hire for. Yes, we can also get you like an official interpreter in their home countries, right? So yeah, it can go both ways.
That's right. Does the VA, they work from home or office?
Majority of the talent work from home, from their own private space. We're not like a call center where there's like in each country, there's like a office space, and they're like under a certain supervision. No, everybody works from home.
And that's part of the vetting process, because we actually have to make sure that they have like a specific workspace in their home to work, and also like their computer, their internet speed, and all those kind of things. So yeah.
Perfect.
That's right. Sean is asking, what are the next steps, I guess, to follow up and get to know how to get a virtual assistant, but we will answer that later because we have a special slide for that. Yes. So I will, yes, that's right. So I'm going to continue, but Sean, this will be answered in a few minutes. Don't worry. So someone else, Elizabeth, she's asking, VAs working with US law firms, how are the confidentiality rules enforced, trained, taught?
Great question. Robbie, do you want to answer it?
Sure. So I'm trying to find it. Oh, there, I found it. So confidentiality and how's that enforced and trained? So yeah, there's a lot of things that play into this question, because part of what Jenner said, it's part of our process being so lengthy and so time consuming, and sometimes VAs actually backing out of the whole process, is because we want actually people who really want to be part of a community, who really are professionals, who are actually looking to have a very stable and a very good work relationship with their clients, are the people who are going to make it. So that's the first line of the vetting process, making sure that that is accordingly. And then when we're speaking with our clients, sometimes it's also like when you have someone in your own office, right? You also have to have your own ways that you're sharing your information. We have clients that they're very open to share their information from the get-go. They're like, I need help. I need this person to help me with all these things. These are my passwords. Like, you take care of my email and so forth. But we also have clients that they like to take a little bit of their time, which is understandable. And that's what their SAM, their account manager, is there for, to help you, like, to speak with you and start delegating those tasks, like slow by slow, like at the moment that you're feeling like more confident, like, okay, now perfect, and now I'm getting to know this person, I can now delegate this other thing, and then you can start like moving forward, which is also connected to another question that I saw, which is like, can you start like part-time and then go to full-time? Yes, that's part of like those kind of conversations that sometimes you're like, let me try a little bit of how this is going to work out, and then you actually like get to know this person and you're like confident and you're like, all right, this is actually working out, now I need to delegate more, and now I can move on to full-time.
Yeah. Let me elaborate a little bit more, because I think this is a very important question that Elizabeth raised, and I want to make sure that she has a comfortable answer from our end, which is a question that I get very frequently in the conferences that I attend for law firms. One of the things that I want to make it very clear, that once you guys hire the VAs, we don't get involved to your day-to-day management. So that means that it's 100% your responsibility to make sure that you train and you have the right systems in place for this virtual assistant to actually take over the tasks that you're going to delegate. When it comes to law firms, the case management systems nowadays, all of them are on the cloud-based case management systems, and you have the ability to create different restrictions within the system to make sure that it protects the information that's about your clients, which is the same thing that goes for the healthcare industry, because they have to be,
HIPAA compliant.
They have to be HIPAA compliant. So they have to make sure that, that whatever the access that they're able to give, it's all limited to a certain degree. Obviously, as time goes by, it's all about building trust between you and whoever works with you. It doesn't matter if it's remote or in person. Once that trust is built, then you're able to delegate more and more things that are more sensitive. But yeah, that's one thing. And another thing that's very important for Elizabeth to know, that there is an NDA in place that's already from the beginning, that's signed by the VA. They're not able to disclose any information about our clients, neither about the clients of our clients, not even to us. So there is that agreement in place for non-disclosure agreement, but if in addition our clients wants to sign a direct NDA with the VAs, they're also able to do that. So those are some of the measures that we take in place to make sure that they follow the confidentiality rules and they're enforced. But the training part, the most key thing that you asked, is definitely dependent on the client.
That's definitely. And Jenner, you answer another question with that last line. Someone asked, do the VA sign any NDA documents when hired? Yes, they do. Okay,
and they also don't have an issue like signing it. Like they already signed one, but then if the client has another one, they have no issue signing another one because they're like professional people, which they don't have an issue signing another NDA.
Yeah,
that's right. Sarah is asking, can you match a virtual assistant with specific skills or expertise related to our industry or task? This question is in the Q&A box.
Yeah, 100%.
That's also tricky depending on which industry you come from, right? Sometimes it's very tricky because you know, if you're looking for let's say, for example, the question that was raised, they were looking for a paralegal assistant with US experience. That could be very tricky for us to find. Depending on your niche or industry, yeah. Sometimes if it's very industry specific, it gets kind of complicated. But we'll do our best. And before we even start a recruitment process, we're very transparent. If it's something that we cannot fulfill, we will tell you from the get-go, from the beginning, to make sure that, you know, 100%. There's no disappointment at the end of the process. For us, it's all about creating long-term relationships. So we're not here to definitely hunt clients down just to lock them into a process, just to make sure that we're moving you towards a direction of success.
Definitely. We have a lot of questions regarding the working hours of the virtual assistant. People asking how flexible they are in terms of availability. How can I know they will match my time zone in the US? And if they can work after normal hours, like an 8 to 5, if they can work night shift. A lot of questions regards the flexibility. If you can please answer us that.
So yes. So for example, for whenever a process starts, we do it based on your business hours, not actually the VAs. So for example, if you're looking to hire someone from 8 to 5, Eastern time, Pacific time, Mountain Standard time, whatever your time zone is, we need to make sure what is your time zone before we begin. So we can match you with the person who's actually going to be working at your time zone. So that's part one. And then if they're going to be flexible in regards to night shifts, yes, those are very special processes, which also have different pay rates, obviously, because we have two different ones. We have night shifts and we also have graveyard shifts, which are like at midnight, happening like till morning. So yes, all of those kind of things are possible, and they're discussed in the client interview, which what Jenner said, it's the 45-minute call where we're like aligned on what's going to be like the next steps for that, for your process.
That's right. We'll go to the last one, that it's now about a little bit about money. Does hiring through Virtual Latinos require any type of deposit up front?
So for yes, we do have a deposit. We don't have a fee. Other companies have a fee, which a fee is something that you actually don't get refunded, right? We actually manage something that it's a deposit, which it's something that we use it to make sure that actually the client is ready to start a process. Then once you hire and once the whole process has begun and you actually get to hire your VA, this deposit goes as credit as part of your invoice when you start working with your VA. So it's actually credited back. So that's why we don't call it a fee, but it's a deposit. This is a QR code that you can scan, and you can already, like, it's going to take you to a landing page where you're going to be able to book your first 15-minute call, which is the discovery call that I was mentioning before, where we're going to try to discover what actually you're looking for, and if we can help you out.
Well, that's a great news before we end this webinar. Thank you all. This was a great public we had this afternoon. Thank you, Jenner. Thank you, Roberta, for all the valuable information. I think everybody's very happy. We learned a lot. And well, have a great evening. And we'll see you if you book an appointment. Bye, everybody. Have a great
Thank
one.
you so much, everyone.
Thanks for joining
Bye.
us.
Thank
Bye.
you.